hot take, Rose Namajunas is the single greatest straw weight there has ever been. Give me the best you got, dude. Give me the best you got. Tell me that Rose is not the greatest straw weight of all time. Think real hard about it, because who would it be, right? Joanna Whaley. Oh, wait, I'm pretty sure Rose starched both of them and then beat both of them through 5-round decisions right afterwards. She beat both of them twice, back to back. So who else is in the conversation? How is it not Rose? What's up, everybody? This is Jesse on Fire from Mexico, and we're going to talk about some Jon Jones in this video because we got like two or three stories about Jon Jones. An injury that he just announced on Twitter, like a concerning one too. That's not just like, well, it's actually much more concerning in one category and much less concerning in another. In terms of like, how's his life going? Like if you're injured, like you're stating on the internet, that's the kind of injury that a person whose life is in shambles gets, not a person who's like training in the gym. So we'll talk about that one. And then also I found out here from Rogan in his show with Rampage that Dana White is saying that he's open to doing a super fight between Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou. And I want to talk about that story very much. And then we're going to close the show with a new big update related to Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler's upcoming fight. And that is what we're going to do. So I am sitting here in a hotel room in Cabo. My entire family is down at the pool waiting for me. But I'm doing this for you guys because I love you guys and I love my channel that much. So if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, it helps the channel. Hey, Jesse, see if you could say channel 74 times in 2 sentences. I think I did it, you guys. I think I did it. But anyway, it's very helpful. I would appreciate you guys if you guys would subscribe and then also like this video and then comment. I really want to know what you guys think about this, especially this injury. What do you think is going on here? All right, so let's jump right into it. All right, so look at this. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about me, the floating head, dude? Like Jesse on Fire is just floating around, or do we like this? I don't know. I think I like this better. So Jon Jones injury. Cut this guy is a quote from an idiot online. Unsettling update has fans demanding Dana White to exile UFC champ as deleted tweet has MMA world divided. What is there to be divided about? You know what I mean? Like when we see this, like, tell me in the comments what there is to be divided on, all right? But 36-year-old Jon Jones always finds a way to be blah, 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 keep his fans updated on multiple issues. Okay, here you go. He took to his X account to share a message that read, "Getting half my finger cut off at the Las Vegas airport." This post has now been deleted as revealed by MMA Orbit. Now, what do we know about Jon Jones as it relates to what happens if he is in a specific location? Okay, Jon Jones does not have a good track history in Las Vegas. This is not rocket science. He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You put booze in that guy, there's a bad guy that comes out, And so anything that's happening in Las Vegas is in the sentence. I'm like, oh, well, I bet you I could guess the state of his, like his mental state at the time. He's probably partying his balls off. Now, does that mean that he is getting half of his finger cut off? Maybe, right? But I don't really understand how exactly that would be working or... but if he's not, okay, so if he just announced an injury and it's not even true, that's just weird, right? Like, that's just bizarre. But if he is getting half of his finger cut off, as he stated online, so let's just take him at his word for argument's sake at the beginning of this thing, how long does that keep someone out for? Like I would assume if a broken pinky toe can push you off the highest selling gate of all time, then getting your fucking finger cut off probably buys you a little bit of time or, cripples your ability to go out. Jon Jones, though, is such a gangster. He would probably go out there and fight, like with I guess it depends on which finger it is. But remember Ronnie Lott from the 49ers? Before he had a broken, something was up with his pinky finger. And they weren't going to, he wasn't going to be able to play in a playoff game. And he had him cut it off so he could play. Tell me there's a more gangster story than that. Ever. Anyway, but as we get into the important stuff here, Jon Jones was all set to take on Stipe Miocic at UFC 95 for his first title defense. However, Bones pulled out of this clash at the last moment because of injury. Since then, the champion is working towards recovery. Fans are hoping to see him The deleted tweet has now raised concern among fans that it might delay his return. Yeah, no kidding. Anything that he says about an injury, you should be very concerned about. This is wrong. Look at, they said this. He's currently unbeaten in the UFC. Wrong. I mean, he is unbeaten, but technically he got beat when he threw a 12-6 elbow through Matt Hamill's face, and he got disqualified. But, you know, it is what it is. So apparently the fans were not taking very well to this story. I mean, anything to avoid Aspinall. Now, listen, I will say straight up, I think Aspinall is a nightmarish matchup for him, but I do not believe that that's why he's not interested in that fight. I actually believe John when he says he's not afraid of him. Like, it's just not that interesting. It's not that interesting of a fight. He doesn't think it'll sell very well because all of a sudden Pereira now he wants to stick around. Now that could be that he thinks that he has a tremendous grappling advantage, but who knows? I will say this though. So I put up a post on Instagram because Demetrius Johnson put up a post that had Alex Pereira on a stage winning a gold medal at a jiu-jitsu tournament, and it was like he won a black belt tournament as a white belt, and I was like, damn. And I put it up. Everyone's all, you do realize those are photoshopped, right? And I'm like, okay. But in the context of my post was, now that I know that Alex Pereira won a black belt jiu-jitsu tournament as a white belt, you're talking sent from God to do combat sports, and so is John Jones. We got to get him in. You're talking goat fight. So when people are commenting and they're like, "Do you actually believe that's real, Jesse on Fire? Are you serious? You really believe it's real?" And I'm like, I don't care if it's real. Like, that's not. What kind of business do you think we're in, dude? Okay. Like that kind of post is not in the category of like, here's a news story and it's important to nail the details. The purpose of that post is to try to drive energy towards John Jones and Alex Pereira fighting. So anyone who's like, it's not real, it's like, okay, guys, well, do you want to see them fight or not? Because that's the whole point of the post, at least on my side, And also, people who said that that's impossible, like literally, there's people in the comments that said that's impossible. Like it's impossible for a white belt to win a black belt tournament. And anybody, I'm like, yeah, no, it's not impossible. And they're like, yes, it is. Oh my God, clearly you don't train at a very high level gym. Clearly you don't have a very high level jiu-jitsu pedigree. And you're like, yeah, clearly you guys don't know people who are exceptional grapplers who just started jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like there's a white belt at our gym, okay, that very, very, very well could win a black belt tournament, okay? D1 All-American wrestler, but nonetheless, There's a white belt that came to our seminar with Lovato, Rafael Lovato Jr., and he's like, don't let this guy fool you. That is not a real white belt. That's a combat sambo world champion. Dude, you look at this guy. This dude looks like the most hardened Russian world champion combat sambo guy. Like you would have looked, and even wearing the white belt, you're like, yeesh, Even if you didn't know that, you'd have looked at me like, fuck, that's gonna be a tough round, dude. That is gonna be a tough round. That's what people, I don't know, whatever, dude. It's definitely not impossible, okay? It's not impossible that he won, and it didn't look like that was like a super big tournament. You guys think every single Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt is like elite level that could never lose to a guy who's kind of new, that, especially as gifted as Alex Pereira, who had, like let's say he had 10 months of Jiu-Jitsu under his belt. It's definitely not impossible, okay? So shut up with that. Anyway, listen, dude, if the guy that was in second place was like fucking Little Nog, yeah, that would be impossible. I agree. But just rando black belt, it's not impossible. Unlikely, not impossible. Okay, so everybody's saying he needs to vacate, whatever. All right, so this is the other part I wanted to talk about related to John Jones, which is Rogan saying that Dana is open to a cross-promotion Francis versus John Jones, okay? I'm just going to say in advance, let me just read this real quick. Like, let me do a 1 minute intro on what was actually said, and then I'll tell you what my opinion on this is, because, yeah, right. Amidst the noise of fans calling for Jon Jones to fight Tom Aspinall, another cracking matchup had seemed to be forgotten about before Aspinall, yada, yada, yada. It was Francis Ngannou. Ngannou, after all, was the lineal heavyweight champion in the UFC until early last year. He was expected to be Jon Jones' first opponent in UFC heavyweight division. Okay, so Jones and Rogan said, where is this? Oh, they were talking Quentin Rampage Jackson and Joe Rogan were the possibility of a fight between Jones and Francis. Where is this, dude? He said CEO Dana White had not shut the door on a possible bout between the two, which has gotten a Philip courtesy. Gotten a Philip? What's that word, you guys? What? Oops. Ugh. What is whoops. You guys, what is that word? Hang on. Where did that go? What is this word? Which has gotten a Philip courtesy of the Saudis? I literally have no idea what that means. The monarchy, of course, has proceeded to invest ludicrous amounts of money into sports over the past half a decade, trying to promote Saudi Arabia as a sports tourism hub. He's hinted that he might be persuaded by Saudi by the Saudi official to do a cross promotion with the PFL for a fight between the heavyweight titans, doubtlessly for a significant amount of money. I'm happy that he made money, but I wish he would have made that money with UFC. Oh, that's Rogan. Okay, so honestly, when I started this talk track, I'm glad that I waited to read this. I was going to say there's absolutely no way that Dana would do this. Like, no way at all. Because why would he? You know, all you do when you do a cross promotion and you put your champion against someone else's champion is you give them the opportunity to delegitimize your promotion when you are at current state the only legitimate promotion. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even need to defend. There's no one challenging. Like, there's no one challenging you for that spot. Why would you give them a title shot that they don't even deserve, right? Because if Francis goes out and starts Jon, you know what I mean? That's a big deal to the brand itself. The only way that I would have said, like, oh, okay, maybe is the Saudis. Okay? The Saudis, like the Dana, the UFC, Endeavor are the big dicks on the block in almost every case. Like, they are the Goliath in basically every case, except for one, and that's this one. The Saudis are everybody's daddy. Everyone's. No matter what business they get in, they're their daddy. You're literally talking about the wealthiest people in the world. You know, I guess we could, if we really want to get into semantics and somebody wants to talk to me about like the Rothschilds and them, you know, that they create the money, the entire monetary system, we could talk about that. Outside of them, these are the wealthiest people in the world. They can do whatever they want. They can pay for it. And Dana knows that, and so that's the only way. I mean, I can't even imagine what that would cost, but maybe. I mean, maybe. That would be amazing, obviously. All right, so I wanted to go through, fix allegations on Tyson Fury gets confirmed by UFC veteran. Okay, hang on, let's see what they say about the fix. That is, amid the hubbub, Chael has come forward in support of his friend for his statement, analyzing Rogan's comments on his. So if you're Francis and you look at they're saying whether the fight was fixed against Tyson Fury. And you know you're walking into that environment, much like Fury should have had a counter for the Ukrainian that he thinks is going to affect the judges. He knew that ahead of time. He didn't think of it in the last 30 minutes while he's getting his face beat in. He should have countered an attack ahead of time. Francis should have had an opponent. Francis could have had a storyline. Francis should have had Fury next after what he did in getting a split decision. He didn't know what time it was before he went in there. He didn't know what time it was during. He didn't know what time it is after. He emphasized that there's some fight fixing involved in the match for the promotion to make Usyk versus Tyson Fury match a possibility. So was the fix in? Sure. Did the promoter relay his wishes to the judges, which they all deny happened? Yes. They did it in front of everybody. Okay, so Rogan said it just seemed like the fix was in a little bit. Oh wow. Okay, so interesting. And they're talking about the decision. Man, that's I am actually not going to say a goddamn word about this. But that's interesting. All right, now let's go and look. We'll just close this out with the Michael Chandler story. Let's see what they said to him, because I don't believe anything. I do not believe anything that I see on this, okay? Michael Chandler told to finally move on from Conor McGregor. Okay. The former Bellator champion has been advised by a Hall of Famer to consider moving on from his red panty night against Conor McGregor. Okay, well, he's going to make 10 times what he would make for I guess this is actually not a big announcement at all, so I certainly am not going to put it in the title. I thought someone more important told him to move on. All right, so he's, according to Conor, and this was not disputed by Chandler, he's going to make 10x fighting Conor what he would otherwise, which means he has pay-per-view. Michael Chandler needs to consider other options, not Conor McGregor. See, I don't believe that there is okay, what's the right way to say this? So, here are my final thoughts on this topic are these, okay? So, when I started putting it out there that I thought that Conor was being pushed back so that they could do that fight at the Sphere, almost immediately after that, when everybody started talking about that, dude, I put up a reel on Instagram, got like 1 million views. Okay, so people are looking at it, people are looking at that topic in general, they're giving it a real look. Now, if that is what was going on, I don't know, I don't know. It's one of those things where that would be a really big secret, I'm just down here spitballing shit, right? But it seemed like right after that is when all of a sudden Chandler started calling out other people. And then Chandler started saying the thing about retiring Conor without throwing a punch. And then I don't know. Because I am obviously very much hoping that those guys headline and everything makes sense the second that you go, oh, that's why you pulled out a 303 with this fucking pinky thing, is so they can move to the Sphere, because nothing else really adds up. None of this adds up otherwise, right? And so I'm looking at it optimistically. Like I said, dude, I mean, I don't even, I don't know what we're going to pick, dude, if those guys don't headline, but you guys had some pretty funny ideas. But I just can't, the amount of time Chandler's waited, why would all of a sudden he's like, all right, yeah, I'll just go do this. Didn't they offer him Islam Makhachev? All of a sudden, Chandler's talking about fighting this guy or that guy. I thought they offered him Makhachev, right? So second ago, it was I can either fight Conor at the Sphere or Makhachev. And now they're talking about Poirier and shit. You know what I mean? None of this adds up, dude. They're going to be headlining the Sphere. So anyway, that's what I got for today. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Oh, root for Rose tonight. Let's go. Rose is the best straw weight of all time. Rose Namajunas is the best straw weight of all time. That's not even arguable. There is absolutely no coherent argument whatsoever against the statement that I just made. She is the greatest straw weight of all time. Try to argue against that.